Hello everybody, how are you today? How are you? Who else is recovering from that fantastic snowstorm that we had for the last week or two or whatever it was? My God, I feel like I spent the last week getting my ass kicked on Fuel Island. I am exhausted, wore out from all of that. The good news is, my friends, the good news is I didn't actually get my ass kicked on Fuel Island for a while. So I guess all the big, tough, scary truckers have been hiding out in their trucks from the cold. I'm not really sure. Not from me. They're not hiding from me. But I haven't had a good Fuel Island ass kicking in quite a while. That feels pretty good. But I feel like I have been, you know. It's, are the rest of you just exhausted, just beat down from all that snow and cold weather? I am down south now. That's the good news. And I'm feeling very lazy, so I'm gonna sit my fat ass in my seat and do this video for you guys today. So I'm like every other trucking vlog out there now. I'm just a chubby old trucker sitting in my seat talking about whatever. And that's what we're doing. But it's finally warmed up down here. Oh, good Lord. It's close to 50 degrees. It's like a fucking heat wave, guys. It feels absolutely amazing. And the truck seems to be doing okay. I had a problem with the airbag's not working. That's a whole video that I haven't got around to yet. But basically, it just started working again once we started warming up. So probably like you guys had suggested in the last video, something frozen and something like that, right? So we're good. The truck's doing just fine. What are we going to talk about today, though? Goofy-ass prime drivers. Why not? I love making fun of Prime. I'm not going to give you guys the whole history of it again, but one time I innocently made a joke about a Prime driver that was acting goofy in the mountains of Colorado. There was no Prime in the title, no nothing. I just happened to mention a Prime truck doing something very silly in the mountains. And I remember going to bed that day because I was on the night shift. So, you know, not a whole lot happened on that video at night. But I went to bed that morning and I got up in the evening to get ready to go to work again. And the Prime posse had attacked. They had attacked. There was at least 15 of them pissed off that I'd never seen in my life. Never even heard of these people. They were just up in arms about the audacity I had to make fun of a Prime driver. And ever since then, we have never, ever stopped making fun of a Prime driver any chance we get. So last video, some of you guys watched all the way to the end, and I was in my truck yelling because a Prime driver was acting like a complete dipshit next to my truck, which is whatever, but like we were on ice, right? Like the whole parking lot was ice, and he was just being ridiculous and almost ran into my truck 3 or 4 times before I finally told you guys, I was like, this Prime driver, I was yelling at him and I said, hold on. And I ended the video. Well, I didn't mean to end the video there, but then I thought better of what I was doing, right? I'm like, okay, no, I'm better than this. I'm not going to do what I actually did and did not include in the video. What I did was I put my phone out the damn window and I was recording him acting like a complete jackass in the parking lot. And what he was doing was he was just trying to back into a spot right next to me. He was bobtail. And it's like, he was sliding a lot, but what he was trying to be Billy Badass out there, just like slamming it into the parking spot. And it's like, if he would have just chilled out and taken his time, he would have just been fine. But he had to keep readjusting himself, and he's just like stomping on the gas to get going, tires spinning, just raising hell out there, sliding all over the place. It was fucking absurd. There was absolutely no reason for it at all. It's ice, dummy. Slow the fuck down. Take your time. If you stomp on the pedal harder, you're just going to spin your tires more. Well, what I had done was I actually had the phone out the window and I was recording him and talking shit while he was right next to me, looking at me also. And then I thought better of what I was doing. I said, okay, I've been a trucker for a lot of years now, and I have had some bad days out here where maybe my emotions got the better of me, and I was maybe acting certain ways that I shouldn't be doing, maybe a little bit aggressive with the truck, things like that. And it wouldn't, even though the guy was pissing me off, It wouldn't be right of me to record his truck number and all that and blast it all over my YouTube channel. Some people might say that is the right thing to do. I'm not that guy here on YouTube. I'm not here to get anybody in trouble. I'm here to talk a lot of shit. Absolutely that, but I'm not here to get anybody in trouble, get them fired from their job or a write-up or what have you. I'm just not going to do it. So that's why I ended that video with hold on, because I was actually like, there was more to the video. I just didn't put it in the video, if that makes any sense. But these fucking Prime dorks are out of control these days, guys. And I know just more people are going to be mad about this video, but the quality of driver over at Prime is dropping substantially. It's just like every day they're getting worse and worse. And it may just be a numbers game like it is with Swift, because everybody likes to make Swift jokes. I fucking hate Swift jokes. I am not a fan of Swift jokes at all. And the reason for that is I'm a huge fan of comedy. Right? I really, really like comedy. And if you're going for a Swift joke, you're going for like the low-hanging fruit. It's the obvious joke. It's too fucking easy. And I don't like them even a little bit. And the reason is I'm smart enough to realize with Swift that it's a numbers game. There's so many goddamn trucks out there from Swift. Sorry, I'm not making eye contact with you guys. I can't tell if this guy in front of me is going to move or not. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I am in line to even get in the gate at an Anheuser-Busch for a live load. So I'll probably be here until the end of fucking time, because these places, these Budweisers and all that, they don't give a shit to get you loaded in any kind of timely fashion at all. So I'll probably be here until I'm dead, is what I imagine. But the truck in front of me, I don't think anyone's moving, but I kept seeing his brake lights come on, so I don't know. Maybe he drives for Prime. Let's start replacing Swift with Prime from now on. So what I was saying is it's probably just a numbers game, right? There's so many Prime trucks out there, and well, there's no easy way to say this. Prime hires a whole lot of dipshits, right? A whole lot of dipshits that, like, I'm starting to think this is really bad for the trucking industry, guys. It's just now occurring to me. It's maybe not a great idea to market to a lot of people that are maybe just down on their luck and go, hey, have you ever considered being a truck driver? We'll bring you in and you can stay in our motel and we'll send you to school and we'll get you your CDL on the path to making $60,000 a year, which $60,000 a year is no joke. It's a lot of money, especially if you're not making much money. Before I was a trucker, I was lucky to break 40,000, you know, just doing office work. And that was on a good year. That was on a good year I do 40,000. But you're bringing in people that it never even occurred to them, shit, I'm going to be a truck driver. A lot of it is bringing in people that are just desperate as fuck to find something to do. And they had no interest in driving a truck ever before in their lives. But they're like, hey, it's a job. And I got to be honest with you, maybe I'm that grumpy old fucking trucker now. But looking at this as like just a job, just something to do for now, makes a bad fucking truck driver, right? They have no concept of what's going on. And you might say to me, Josh, but weren't you just an IT guy before you were a truck driver? And yes, the answer to that is I absolutely was. I absolutely was. Now, I always kind of make the joke, you guys, that I'm half Italian and half redneck. You can tell by the beard I'm trying to grow in. Oh, I already did that joke on here. Damn it. It's actually, you know, we're getting there. I think we're getting there, though, fellas. I'm about to be full Italian here pretty soon. The patchiness kind of clearing up. Persistence pays off, my friends. I've already done that joke, so I can't do it again. But the punchline of the joke is all the cousin fucking happens over on this side, right? You gotta be this related to ride this ride. I don't know. I have no fucking clue. But anyways, I gotta stop recycling my jokes is the point I'm trying to make. Or maybe I just beat them to death. Maybe I just use them till everybody's fucking sick of them. I haven't decided yet. The point I'm trying to make is I grew up in the country, right? on farms, around tractors and semi trucks and things like that. And I actually am a third generation trucker. It's not like I come from a family of fucking computer dorks. I was just trying to go a different way in my young life. I was trying to deny what an absolute fucking redneck I actually am. And I went into the IT field for a while until I could no longer beat out the redneck gene. And here the fuck I am in a truck. Why does that matter? You might be asking. Well, maybe it fucking don't. Maybe it don't. But this is, how am I trying to say this? It's back to the point that I made earlier. If you're looking at trucking, oh God, I hate that I'm even going to say this. What has trucking done to me? Trucking wins, motherfuckers. It has beat my ass down. This is not a job, guys. It's a lifestyle. Holy fuck. It just came out of my mouth. I finally said it. But it's true. It's true. If you're viewing this as just a fucking job, then you should just not. You should not even entertain the idea of it, because when you start viewing it like that, it's going to fuck up your life, is what I'm trying to tell you. Mentally, it's going to fuck up your life because you're locked up in this box all the time. Physically, it's going to fuck up your life because you're locked up in this box all the time. What else? What other ways is it going to fuck up your life? Maybe not financially. If you make a dumb mistake because you just don't give a fuck enough about it, you could find yourself in serious legal trouble out here too. And that's the fucking point I'm trying to make. Trucking is not just for anybody. You almost have to have like that passion for it. Like, it's got to be pumping through your blood at some point or another, or get the fuck off my road. God damn it. Go home. What the fuck are you doing out here? You steering wheel holder motherfuckers. God damn it. This industry's turned me into an old man. But seriously, go home. Go home. I don't want you here. Damn it. Out here on my damn roads. I'm trying to make a fucking living out here. But, anyways, Prime, there is a failure happening at Prime right now as we speak. What the fuck is it? Is it their training that's going on in the classroom? Right? And I want to believe that, because as much as I make fun of Prime, I actually am friendly with a few Prime drivers here on YouTube. One of them that I know of does some training from time to time. He's a very young guy, but he seems to be a very reasonable, intelligent person. And I would hope that he's teaching people the correct ways to be a truck driver. I've listened to a number of his videos, and he doesn't seem like he don't give a fuck about trucking. I don't name names too much on this channel, but like, his dad was a trucker also, so it's kind of one of those things where it's in his blood, right? So I think that this guy is probably a good trainer, but there is some bad shit going on. You know what? It's probably that fucking Jim C, now that I think about it. Jim C! We need to have a talk. Could you imagine Jim C as your trainer? So what you want to do is go pick up the load, and then after you get that, you're going to go deliver the load, and you've been trained. And that's it. That's Jim C training. I don't think Jim C is a real person. I think we're all being punked. For those of you that know Jim C or have seen a Jim C video, there's no way that's a real person. That's a fucking AI. That's an AI. Nobody has that little bit of emotion running through their body unless they are an AI or a fucking psychopath. Which is it, Jim? Which is it, Jim? And nobody, if you don't know who Jim C is, and if you decide to go look him up, nobody go attack Jim C. I don't hate him, all right? It's actually a little it used to be a back and forth until I beat him into submission, not on Fuel Island, but just with my mean words here on YouTube. But maybe he still takes shots at me. I don't know. But Jim C's not a real person. There's no fucking way. He's like an inflatable doll with a AI implanted in him that's why his mouth never moves when he talks. He's a ventriloquist dummy. That's what he is. He's a ventriloquist dummy. The CEO of Prime is behind his seat with his hand up his ass going, Jim, talk about how great Prime is. Prime is so good. They send me a load, and then I go pick up a load, and then I get good miles, and then I do really good money here at Prime. And Jim's not a real fucking person. There's absolutely no way. But there's a major failure happening over there. I was talking to a friend yesterday who had mentioned something to me that I've seen a number of times. And that thing was a prime truck on the shoulder of the interstate. Now, not only have I seen an uptick in that, I've seen an uptick in what actually happened after that. Now, I don't know what's going on, but you see prime trucks everywhere parked on the shoulder, everywhere you go. I'm starting to get the suspicion that somewhere along the line, somebody taught them that that's a good place to take your 30-minute break. There is no way a fleet as big as Prime, with all the connections they have out here for getting these trucks fixed whenever they need fixed, there is no way that many Prime trucks are breaking down. Absolutely not. And if there were, and I worked at Prime and my truck was on the fucking shoulder every other day because the piece of shit keeps breaking down, I'm the fuck out of here, because there's no excuses for a company as massive as Prime, with as much money and connections as they have all over the country, for their trucks to be broken down as much. I don't think they're broken down. I think that these guys are so poorly managing their clocks that they're just running down the road 62 miles per hour. We'll get to that in a fucking minute. And they go, their Qualcomm starts going off. It's like, you must take a break. And they go, fuck, and they hit the shoulder. And they go, okay, I'm on my 30-minute break. And they sit right there on the shoulder and they take their 30-minute break. But do you know what they do? The same thing they did to my friend I was talking to yesterday. The minute their 30-minute break is over, they put that truck back in drive and they go hard left straight into the interstate without looking at the mirrors at all. And from zero miles per hour on the shoulder to hard left into the right lane of the interstate to get up to speed without even looking a little bit at if traffic is coming. And I have seen this a number of times, to the point now, my friends. Now, we always want to move over for our fellow drivers when they're parked on the shoulder, right? We want to give them room to do what they need to do. What we don't want to do is run over a fucking trucker. That would be horrible, right? We don't want that to happen. As a matter of fact, I was having a problem with, that's the other video I need to do, but the suspension on the truck, and I got out to check something, and it was kind of getting to an emergency situation, and I got out to check what was going on out there, and I was on the shoulder, and I did something really stupid. I could hear this air leak that I'm hunting, right? I can hear it, so I got under the truck, right, so I could get closer, and then I went, dude, you're on the fucking shoulder of the interstate. This can wait. This can wait till we're in a parking lot. And I got the fuck out from under there, because all it takes is one dipshit probably pulling an Amazon trailer that lost lane control. It's those Amazon guys are off the fucking rails too. We need rails on the interstate to keep the Amazon fucking trucks in the goddamn lane they're supposed to be. And that's going to be the guy to take your ass out on the side of the fucking road. And once I realized, I'm like, I just put myself in a really, really stupid position. I hauled ass out there. I'm like, these motherfuckers going to hit the back of the damn trailer and take my fucking head off. But the point I'm trying to make, sometimes you can't move over for a trucker that's on the shoulder. Sometimes you've got a lot of stuff going on to the left, right? Now, when I see a prime truck on the side of the road, I will do whatever it takes to clear that fucking lane, because that motherfucker is going to take off from zero to in your lane, and they do it all the time. Who is training these motherfuckers to do this? Who is saying that this is okay? And they're all just lining up down the goddamn interstate to take their 30-minute breaks and then just straight back into traffic over and over and over again. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm sick to fucking death of seeing it. It's absolutely fucking insane. But somebody's teaching this. It happens so often that it has to be a systematic problem within Prime Inc. for it to continue happening, right? And maybe they're not getting, Prime maybe doesn't support this, and they're not getting caught on the cameras, you know, dicking around on the shoulders. Maybe the cameras don't know how to pick up, hey, our guy just parked on the shoulder. What the fuck is he doing there? My company has a very, very strict policy about the shoulder is only for emergencies. Like you've got something wrong and you need to get over there. Now, I don't know how they keep track of it. You know, it may be like somebody calls and tells on you type of thing. I'm not really sure. I haven't tested it, though. Yesterday was the only time I've ever pulled over on the shoulder, and I thought I was having an emergency. It turns out it wasn't as bad as I thought. But they're fucking doing that. And this bullshit right here, oh, this is starting to piss me off, guys. We have all been under the impression for a long time that Prime was governed at 62 miles per hour for company, 65 miles per hour for lease, right? That has always held true. I've had Prime drivers in my comments trying to gaslight me and convince me that I'm fucking crazy, and that never happened, but it has been like that for fucking years. And we all know that because we have, most of us, a lot of us, have the fucking thing in our truck that tells us how fast traffic in front of us is moving, and that helps us make better decisions with, like, when are we going to pass them? When are we going to make our move? How much time do we really have? And for as long as I've fucking been alive, I could always tell if I was coming up on a Prime contractor or a Prime company driver because they were either 62 or 65 miles per hour. Yesterday, goddammit, I'm coming barreling down on a fucking Prime driver that's in the right lane going 51 miles per hour on flat land. I don't know what he was doing. Maybe he just came off the shoulder. I don't fucking know. He did not come off the on-ramp. Nothing like that. The guy was just there in the right lane doing 51 miles per hour. Now, my truck is governed at 70, but I run it as much as I can at 65. Granted, I've got the time on the load to do that and things. So I run it at 65, fuel saving reasons, right? So I go, okay, we're coming up on a Prime driver doing 51. That's not my fucking problem. I don't care. If he wants to do 51 all day, that's his fucking business, right? Maybe he's saving some fuel over there too. So I move over into the left lane, right? I move over in the left lane. And I get over and I'm coming up on him. I'm getting ready to pass him. We're on flat fucking land, guys. And I'm just trucking, right? I'm just trucking along. I pass the Prime driver, give him a little, you know, how you doing? And we're getting on down the road. I got no problem in the world with this Prime driver till I notice something. Once I get the hood of his truck about to my window here, he starts matching my speed the entire time. And he just sits there at 65 miles per hour, matching my speed. And I went, what in tarnation is happening here? This man was perfectly content to drive. I got to move forward here. Let me turn my radio down. He was perfectly content to drive at 51 miles per hour until the very minute that I went to pass him. And now all of a sudden, let me turn this radio down. He is going to match my speed and just fucking sit there. And it's not like one Prime driver was doing this. I am seeing this over and over and over again, where you come up to pass them and they match my speed at 65 miles per hour every fucking time. I keep seeing this, and I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know why that is, but I think they picked this up from fucking Crete. Yeah, Crete's really bad about this. They're always, I'll talk to you guys in a minute. I got to talk to this guy. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, Crete drivers can be fucking goofballs too, which is funny because when I got pulled into the place to check in, there was a Crete driver that got out of his truck and started directing traffic, telling everybody where to go and which lane to get in and making sure you knew the check-in process and all that stuff. And bless his heart for helping everyone, of course, but it was kind of silly. So it reminded me of this story. There was a Crete driver that I think pretty well hated me. He was like a year older than me and drove for Crete, but he was always on about, I'm an old school truck driver. Oh, bro, come on now. We're driving for a mega carrier with, a governed truck and we've got GPS and we've got internet in the truck and we've got a PlayStation, we've got a TV, we've got a microwave. What are we doing talking about being old school truck drivers? But he was always really, really mad at me because I wasn't an old school truck driver also. What's the earliest we could have started driving? At my age, 2000, 2001, somewhere in there. We missed the boat by 30 fucking years at least to be old school truck drivers. We got to be honest with ourselves. If we started driving in the 2000s, we're nowhere near old school truck driver. We're just spoiled brats with CDLs like everyone else, We're living the high life out here compared to an old school truck driver that's running around in a truck with no power steering, twin sticks, fucking no heat, no AC, you know, fucking just a uncomfortable truck made out of fucking metal everywhere, just jagged metal. You need a tetanus shot every time you get out of that motherfucker, just sweating their asses off, just smelling like shit everywhere they go, and definitely didn't have all the luxuries we have of today. There's too many fucking truckers out here role-playing old school outlaw truckers. Let's get our shit together, guys. we're just people with CDLs. That's what we are, okay? We're not outlaws, and we're definitely not old school. Well, there's some old school truckers still out here, but they're old as fuck. They're old as fuck, because yeah, we're talking about like 70s, 60s, you know, 50s, 60s, 70s. I think you start to get into 80s, and maybe you're getting cut off a little bit, but 80s still had pretty bad technology. If you started trucking in the 90s, you're not an old school trucker, all right? Get the fuck over yourself. But dude was always just livid that I wasn't an old school driver just like him. 1 year older than me. What happened between this year and that year? Maybe they started putting fluoride in the water that year, and then it fucking warped my brain, and I'm like, I'm not old school, god damn it. And I don't know, I stood up, I took a stand for a thing that doesn't even fucking matter. Yeah, that's probably what fucking happened. I don't know, but you know, maybe the guy grew up in a house that still had lead-based paint. I don't fucking know what happened there. But anyways, this thing where you're trying to pass a prime driver, I am not the only person that has noticed this. They are lying to us. There's something happening, and they're lying to us. They're not governed at 65, guys, and they're not governed at 62 either. You know how I know? Because every time you go to pass one, like me, said earlier, I like to run at 65. They match my speed. Right around the time I'm coming around them and they notice a presence next to them, there's a truck next to them, they wake up from their nap and they go, oh fuck, I'm driving a truck, and then they stomp on the gas and try to act normal. And then they match my speed until I have to, you know, show them how a real trucker trucks and run it up to 70 on their asses. That's right. That's what I have to do. And then, but this is an epidemic with the prime drivers. We're waking them up from their naps. We're being very inconsiderate of them. And then when we do, they're like, oh God, I'm behind the wheel of a truck. Whatever do I do? And I have been dealing with so many fucking prime drivers that I can see their goddamn speed. And a lot of times it's in the 50s. In the fucking 50s. And no reason for it, all right? Now, I'm not an old school trucker, but I am not a rookie trucker by any fucking means. And I can identify certain grades of the road that may be speeding you up and slowing you down. And I can tell a trucker that is carrying a heavy load or a light load if he's driving like any kind of fucking normal human being out there. So if we're going uphill and that guy's doing 50 miles per hour, he's still losing speed, all that, dude's carrying a heavy load, right? All right. Now, I have to take that into consideration in dealing with this particular truck driver. He's carrying a heavy load. Grades of the road are going to change what he's doing. Sometimes I'm the one carrying the heavy load, and I need to be conscious of that. This is on flat land. This is on flat land over and over, and they're just moseying along at 50 fucking miles per hour, and you go to pass them, and there they go. They're right there with you. I don't know if they're just desperate for friends. They want to pick up a new buddy on the road that they can hang out with, and we could just convoy up all day together. I don't know what exactly their fucking plan is, but we've got to stop. And what I was saying is they have definitely picked this up from Crete, because this has been a Crete trademark for as long as I can fucking remember. In my entire trucking career, every time I have passed a Crete truck, you are guaranteed, absolutely guaranteed, that that Crete driver is going to speed up and match your speed and make it take the next 20 goddamn minutes for you to pass him, because I guess he's just bored. I guess he's just fucking bored, and he wants to hold you there the entire time. So the point I'm trying to make with this video, aside from all the goofy fucking things that Prime does, all the indoctrination, all the fucking Prime is love, Prime is life, all these weird things, and then you go into orientation and they give you your Prime YouTube kit so you can vlog as a trucker, and make sure you drop your referral code in every one of your vlogs, because that's the only fucking thing that makes sense, because every shithead that goes to Prime goes, you know what I'm gonna do? YouTube channel. I think they're telling them to. I think they're telling them to try to keep the recruiting numbers up. That's what I think. You know, they do all that shit, and then they teach them that, like, the macros numbers are actual sentences, which is weird. Did you send in your 90? If somebody asked me if I sent in my 90, I'd stare at them like they were fucking crazy, because, well, they are. What the fuck are you talking about? Talk to me like I'm a goddamn person, if you don't mind. And that's how we end up with fucking AI fucking Jim C over there, talking like a goddamn robot, because he sat there in class listening to everything, just taking in everything they said. Jim went in a normal fucking person. He used to act just like me. He was just kind of bouncing off the walls in his truck. And then he went to Prime, and they, like, fried his fucking brain, and now Jim talks very monotone and doesn't move his mouth when he talks. And Jim has been replaced. Jim has been replaced, and that's probably Prime's fucking goal. I think that's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to bring in normal people, and they're implanting their brains with some sort of weird fucking AI. You can see it in their eyes. There's something wrong in these Prime drivers' fucking eyes, guys. There's something going on there. Or nothing going on there, which really seems to be the case today. Nothing going on behind the eyes of a Prime driver at all. Just a dead stare and a monotone voice when you try to talk to them. So I think what's happening is Prime is actually harvesting people and replacing them with, like, what do they call them, like skinwalkers or something like that. And their only goal in life is to be a Prime driver forever, until their physical meat body runs out of usefulness, and then they just transfer. They plug them back in, their little dead corpses. That's a little bit fucking redundant, isn't it? And then they drain that AI back into that. They download everything that driver has learned, and then they just upload it to a new meat body to carry them around. And I think that's what Prime is doing. I think they're killing people, because there's no way. Have you ever listened to a Prime driver talk? They're not real, guys. They're not fucking real. I'm telling you, they're not real fucking people. But the point I was trying to make is there is either a problem at Prime headquarters where they are failing to reach the people through their classroom training, you know, where they're failing to reach the people in a way that makes sense, or Prime is hiring really, really shitty trainers to train new drivers, and they're giving them really, really bad habits. And some of those habits we've seen are the things I've listed through this video. And those are only some of the things, the observations that I've noticed. I mean, my God, taking your half-hour break on Fuel Island, I wish I could say that was just a Prime thing. That's running rampant right now. Like, that's getting out of fucking control. You can't even get to a fuel pump anymore. It's getting real bad, but I don't think that's just a Prime issue. And just overall being a fucking goofball on the road. That's what Prime does. And then, like, this, like, overinflated fucking ego about what a great trucker you are because you work at Prime. Remember recently I was telling you guys a Prime driver came to my channel because they were real mad about a Prime video I made. Imagine that. Huh? You don't see that, right? That's so weird of me to say. That never happens. I must be making that up. But the Prime driver that was upset about my video came and told me that they could buy and sell my ass with all the money they're making over at Prime, which obviously anybody that's like kind of involved themselves in this business knows that that's a complete bullshit statement, because the market is what it is. Prime isn't paying their drivers any fucking more than anybody else is making. It's just not happening. If it were happening, it would be just such a small amount that it wouldn't be enough to buy and sell my ass or anybody else's ass out here, right? But this overinflated fucking ego about what amazing truck drivers they are. And the reason I bring that up is because I was curious about this trucker. So I went over and I looked at their channel, and they've been driving trucks for like 2 or 3 years. Slow your roll there, motherfucker. Slow down. Just calm down. It's okay. It's okay. Cut your teeth in trucking a little bit first before you start telling, you know, other truckers you can buy and sell their ass. Now, I have fucked up a lot in trucking, but I have seen some fucking highs in trucking also, where there were times where I made completely fucking absurd money in trucking. Hopefully one day we do that again, because that ain't the case now. But that was a fluke in the system. That was around all that COVID shit when freight rates just went absolutely fucking insane. And doubt that we'll ever see that again. But my point is, it would be good for a lot of people to see that again, to understand that those fucking highs do exist. They are out there, and then you're going to get a nice low to match that, right? So before you run around telling everybody because you work at Prime you can buy and sell their ass, experience getting your ass kicked by this industry, like just absolutely fucking manhandled by trucking, not under the safety net of Prime with all the freight and everything. Like, get out there and fucking really take a risk and make some fucking money. Then maybe I won't let you buy and sell my ass, but I'll let you take me out for a drink, right? I'll let you do that because you're so rich you can afford to buy me a drink, right? I think that's fair. But that's what I want to end this video on, is there are some massive egos at Prime for a bunch of goofballs rolling around the country at 62 miles per hour that take their 30-minute breaks on the shoulder. They sure do think very highly of themselves. And maybe be proud of what you do, obviously. Be proud of what you do, but maybe slow your roll just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right, Prime drivers, you're off the hook for another week or so. I'll see you. Bye, guys.